Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy BurCG back here, and I just got done watching WandaVision episode 7, and let me tell you, they really gave it to us this episode. I'm gonna say this is probably one of the top 5 episodes. It's sitting right now at about 1 or 2 for me. And dude, before I get into it, anyway, let me just give you a spoiler warning, because I know, for some people randomly pick on the video, and I don't know, but you got a warning right now. You got 3, 2, 1, bam. That's your warning. If you're still here for spoilers, I don't know what to tell you. I'm about to talk about it. We got the reveal. That Photon is now here. Monica has her abilities, and things were about to get fired up. I tell you, man. I thought we were gonna get our actual first fight between Wanda and Monica. I really thought we were. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be fire. I know she doesn't know how to do anything, but just when we finally get to see her start using her abilities, and it seems like she's gonna start using it against maybe other sword people, because she's siding with Wanda. She's probably gonna help fight against Tyler, trying to invade or do some shit. That makes more sense to me. But just seeing her have the abilities now, and seeing her, that little clip of her walking through the barrier, and just seeing those different versions of her split through, and then everything comes together, and then she walks out. She sees everything differently, and she's just raiding off. She's raiding off that energy, bro. Man, it's so good. I'm not even worried about the aerospace engineer anymore. That's old news, man. Monica, Photon, that's the new news. But anyways, we got that. That was one of the most hype things for me. We also got a little bit of information about Pietro. Now I'll get into Pietro a little bit more after I talk about this, because at the end of the episode we learned something huge, which is very important. So we get a little bit of knowledge that Wanda still is denying that Pietro is, that's Pietro, because the kids ask, I think, about him, and she's basically saying, no, he's not your uncle, blah 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 blah, this blah 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 that, basically denying that they should have any association with him. And he's not in the episode at all, so that's one thing to consider. He's not there at all, which I don't know where he went, because the extension of the barrier does not mean that everything inside changed at that time. It definitely did change to more modern times still, but things mostly seem to remain the same for the most part. Vision woke up in the same place he was. Wanda went home and she fell asleep in her costume. Pietro, quote unquote, disappeared. So we'll get into that later. But yeah, just know they're already suspicious of him. Same with Vision. Vision says he's an imposter, Pietro. So they're all suspicious. And later on, Wanda, this is a very office-eccentric video, office-eccentric episode, I would say. It's got the theme, the intro music that they use. It kind of had the same feel to it as The Office, which was really cool. And then also, they do the same interview style as The Office as well. And I don't know. Yeah, I'll say more it's like The Office. They do more stuff like that, and it's actually pretty interesting. There's a part where the interviewer speaks out, and usually the interviewers don't speak out. I mean, they did that, and for example, in one of the episodes or a couple of the episodes in The Office, where I think it was if you've watched The Office, you know where that episode with Pam and the painting and the dick thing. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was interesting, and we learned about that scene later on too, and I'll talk about it at the end. But it starts getting crazier and crazier, because also, the kids, they go with AGNES, and basically acts like, oh yeah, let's give mommy some alone time, blah 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 blah. And she kind of has her alone time, but she starts noticing things are falling apart. She can't control things anymore, and this has been a consistent thing that you've seen throughout the episodes, because episode 3 with the stork, Wanda, well, is it episode 3? Yeah, episode 3, she couldn't control a stork. And she couldn't make it go away, which was strange, right? And then we also see that Stork come back. That was also the weird thing. I was like, why did the Stork come back all of a sudden? So it just seems like things are, swapping back and forth and coming in and out of place. And we also just to inform people again, when she tried to use her magic on the kids, it didn't work. So we already knew that there were some inconsistencies. And even in the beginning of the series, she was like getting stressed out like a lot. And she wasn't able to make that gourmet meal that they wanted originally. But like, I guess you could put that in there too. Like, her powers just kind of are not responding well. And you can see that very much here. She tries to change everything back, and still it's just like everything is not going according to plan. Everything is falling apart, as she says. Why can't she control anything? And we get the commercial. The commercial I still have to think about. This is just fresh thoughts, by the way, so don't get on me if I don't talk about everything. But like, we have to talk about that commercial a little bit. But it talks about Nexus. It's a pill, and it's basically saying the world doesn't revolve around you, or does it? It's trying to cure her issues or whatever. But specifically why it's called Nexus, I don't know. And please don't say Fortnite. If it's Fortnite, that would be atrocious. Please don't. I doubt it is, but why Nexus in the first place? There's probably little details in that commercial. All the commercials have very much a big significance on the story too. The last one, snacking on your magic, I'll get into that at the end of the episode too, because I think we can say who is stealing the magic. We can say that. And pretty much we see Darcy, and Vision awakens her. I don't know why he didn't just awaken her as soon as he saw her. Like, he knows he can do it, and it would have just been smart to avoid the small talk and be like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna, here we go, you're waking, you're woken up, tell me what's going on. He should have just done that. That would have saved time, but they gotta have the foreplay and the back and forth and yada 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 yada. So yeah, they have that little back and forth. Darcy and Vision start trying to drive back to the house so they can go to Wanda, and Vision can go see what's wrong with Wanda. But Wanda or somebody is creating obstacles, impediments, and not letting them get there. And eventually Vision just gets fed up, and he flies out of the freaking car, and he's just like, I'm out, and leaves Darcy. And she's like, I'll just meet you there. And pretty much now we're getting into the actual really big reveal. And a lot of people probably predicted this, but like, we weren't sure if they were going to do it. Like, they just took a long time to tell us. And there's 2 episodes left, which means those 2 episodes are definitely going to be the longest out of any for sure. If not, then episode 9 is going to be the longest for sure. If they choose to do another 30-minute episode, I swear. But here we go. So Wanda comes down, and she's in Agnes's house, and she's looking for the kids, and she's like, oh, they might be down in the basement. Obviously that's sus. And she went down into the basement, only to find there's this spell book somewhere, and it's like a little dungeon under here almost. Agnes comes down, and she reveals herself as Agathaharkness. This is a big deal, because this really means we could be seeing Mephisto. I'm not going to get into the whole specifics of the comics, because that's a lot to go over with her backstory and the Salem witch trials and whatnot, and the deal with Mephisto and the 2 souls and the kids and whatnot. But we still don't know where the kids are by the end of this episode, just so you know. We don't know that. But she reveals herself as Agathaharkness, and she, shows her little, magic. She says, Wanda, you're not the only one with magic, pretty much. And that also, is the first time I think anybody's referenced Wanda's abilities as magic. And Wanda herself doesn't know that her, her abilities are magic. I mean, Doctor Strange probably could point that out to her, but obviously they haven't had any real interaction like that, especially since this is so fresh. This event is so fresh after Endgame. Yeah, they definitely haven't had time to communicate that. But this also brings into another thing. If we're introducing the form of magic more, and another sorcerer type person, that definitely means that Doctor Strange might have to get reference here or come in, right? Because it seems like Agatha Harkness has a little bit more control over Wanda. You know, what seeming like from our view, it seems like she started taking control. And maybe just show her, Agatha's point of view. But we do see a compilation of everything from episode 1 up until now, and what these little incidents, are going on. So we see like episode 1 and 2, like her, using her magic to kind of stir up trouble. Episode 3, there was a lot, let's just say, but the main important ones related to this episode and the last episode. Last episode we see, the episode for that, she's the one who brought Pietro in. Who that Pietro is, still yet to be revealed. If that's actually Peter Quicksilver from Fox, like, we don't know if that's him, because the thing is, he also had powers. That's the thing. He was actually, zipping, running around and stuff. So it would make sense for him to still be a Quicksilver, but that it could just be a guy that she made look like Quicksilver, honestly, and then just dumped him somewhere. I don't know, or gave him to Mephisto or something, because we don't see him anymore. And the thought is that Wanda, Vision, and the kids pretty much are not going to interact with him, because Wanda is saying that's not your uncle, it's not him. Don't believe anything, blah blah blah, stuff like that. But Wanda, she's seeing this stuff, and we also see that in the interview, it's Agnes that was pretty much the interviewer, and she spoke out of tone. But Wanda doesn't know that, because in these segments, obviously, it's the camera view is different. Like, I don't know exactly what she's looking at, like how she sees it, especially with Vision, because he also points out, like, why am I here? Why am I being interviewed? I need to go to my wife. Like, they're not conscious it's happening. It just happens, like, in the snap of an event. And then they're back in their normal setting, and then it happens again, which is, weird, but it's funny. But yeah, that was the big reveal, and I gotta say, that's absolutely crazy that they left off on that note. But it was a good note, and the next couple episodes, we're in for a treat, because I really think that Ralph is gonna end up being Mephisto, because there's no way you have Agatha Harkness and you don't do Mephisto. Getting Mephisto in the MCU is kind of big, though. It could lead to a lot of other stuff in the future. But anyways, I'm gonna conclude this little short, fresh review. And hopefully I can see some comments down below on what you guys think is going to happen in the last 2 episodes. I'm not even worried about the aerospace engineer. I don't even think that was important. I think what was important is Monica getting her powers. And noticing that whole thing that she came up with kind of failed, and realizing I can go through and withstand it. That's kind of interesting. Like, with the knowledge of knowing that her cells were rewritten twice, she said, F it, I'm going in anyway. Like I said, I don't know if this is a way we can get in. I don't know if this is how we get mutants, where the DNA is changing like that, or what. But I'm down for whatever they're about to do, because they are giving good treats. Okay. But anyways, thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this WandaVision episode, because I'm ready for the next episode and the series finale. But anyways, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.